Indianapolis Colts. Time to set the old turducken aside and get ready for football as here we go on a Thanksgiving night. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Brissett to throw on first. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Brissett. And the catch made by Hilton. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. On first down, they'll stay with Mack on the ground. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A gain of 11 that time and a Colts first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. And it's caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
They will run with Ware, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. This is 3rd and goal. Brissett. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Chester Rogers. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts take it right down and score on the opening drive. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 22. Watson off play action. Flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a 1st down, pick it up, and keep moving.
On 1st down, it's Watson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, but it's going to be 2nd down.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. It was Justin Houston, the native of Statesboro, Georgia, with a sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
He's going to air one out. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Watson to Hopkins. A huge hookup, 55 yards.
Texans, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard
line. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. From the gun, here's Watson. Escaping the pressure right. Open man is QT, complete. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The linebacker, Darius Leonard, applied the heat. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Melvin Gordon, the 2-time Pro Bowler. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st. So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good. No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I'll guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use them a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some. More touchdowns.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Brissett. Into the hands of his running back, Marlon Mack. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And the Colts first down.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Now it's Mack, draw play. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
What we got? Right here, guys. Fight 51.
From the gun, here's Brissett. Throw complete there, Rodgers.
Brissett's pass complete to Chester Rogers. A 7-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. They'll try and run for this with Mack. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
First down, Brissett. It's caught by Funchess. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
He's coming, he's coming, he's coming. We got double up, double up. Slam. Shoot.
They'll run here with Mack. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
Looking to run with Mack. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Marlon Mack, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And it's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. On first down, a running play ends up going backwards as he won't get close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose 4 yards. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
On 1st and 10, Watson got Gordon open, completes it.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Sliding out of the pocket. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Justin Houston, his 2nd sack of the night.
If you rank one from the bottom in statistics, that's usually not good in this league. And this team, one from the bottom in sacks, but somehow they've got 3 in this game. What's going on?
I know, they're 31-32. They better be careful. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
Set. 19. You remember me. You remember me. Let's go, baby.
Off of play action, it's Watson. Flush to his right, and that is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. On 2nd down, Johnson. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Seventh play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Here's Watson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jabal sheared in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Now, right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They'll run it with Johnson, and he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. Steps away to his left. The ball comes out, and the Colts pick it up.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Brissett. Complete to Hilton. And all the way to the opposite 49-yard line. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. On play action, Brissett. And this is incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target. And it's 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
He's crashing.
They'll run it out of the gun with Mack. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's hit, boys.
5 yards on the play.
Brissett from the gun on 3rd. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. A 5-yard pass on Heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first. Brissett now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. Being chased out left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And this one is right down Broadway. So we've reached halftime here on a Thanksgiving night as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Vinatieri now to tack on the PAT. And the lead is up to 18 now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Faking the give. Now Watson. Got an open man. It's QT. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 33. Watson on first down. He's going to look deep, end zone for Hopkins. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Off play action. Watson. He'll let this go for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Again, it's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear if they want to close this gap.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
You got 3 down. Check 4.
They'll run here with Mack. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 36-yard line.
55 is Mike, guys. 55. Go. Mike, 55. Right there in the middle. 55.
On 2nd and 12, Brissett. Funches has it complete. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
Let's go.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 49-yard line. This is Mack on the counter. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That's good for an Indianapolis 1st down on a gain of 10.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Here's Mack. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So after the penalty, here's 2nd and 3. They'll run with Mack. He's got a 1st down and much more inside the 20. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the red zone now, Brissett. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw, Brissett to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, You'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
On third down, a run by Matt. And he'll be tackled right on the 10, well short of the first down. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to fourth down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. You really can't see it in his leg. Maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard. That's about it. But as long as he's booting them the way he's booting them, keep going, big guy.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Tight, watch left. Tight, watch left. Hey. 4 down.
Out of the gun, Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. They go play action with Brissett. Caught left side by Funchess. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. DJ Reader there on the tackle. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. Brissett now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now a carry from Mack. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Marlon Mack, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that? And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 49.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10. On first down, they'll start out with Mack. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Deshaun Gibson there on the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Oh, here we go. Oh.
They go right back to Mack. And some space here. 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Aaron Colvin there to make the tackle.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
A give, running right is Mack. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. They keep it on the ground. Mack again. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
And after the made field goal, here's Adam Vinatieri to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Set. 19. Tap. Watch the twist. Down the
From the gun on third, Watson. And this is going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, Matt. He's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call. And they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
Here comes Grant on the return. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
22 yards there, a first down. Here's Watson. He finds his man Johnson. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll bring up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
He's got Fuller. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and it was their defense the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the Colts, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Indianapolis next week. Meanwhile, for Houston, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to